It was the middle of the night. In 7th century Arabia, the desert winds carried whispers of betrayal, faith, and fear. Among those whispers was the name of a woman, Asma bint Marwan. She was not a warrior, not a leader of armies, but a poet. And yet, her words would mark her for death. Asma was a mother of 5, living in Medina. Her poetry was sharp, cutting like a blade through silence. She spoke against violence, against the new order taking shape. And she did so openly, unafraid, unflinching. Her verses challenged men of power, and for that she became a target. In her society, poetry was more than art. It was influence. One verse could raise men to honor or cast them into shame. Asma's words accused, questioned, and refused to bow. She condemned bloodshed and tyranny, and in doing so, she wielded a weapon more dangerous than a sword: truth. But words that expose can also enrage. To the men she criticized, Asma was not a mother, not a poet. She was a threat. A single woman daring to challenge authority in a world where silence was survival. The hatred against her grew, quiet but steady, until it reached a deadly conclusion. In the shadows of Medina, whispers spread. Some men, angered by her defiance, claimed she dishonored them with her poetry. Their pride demanded blood. To silence her voice, they plotted a crime in the dead of night. A decision was made. Asma would not live to write another verse. The city slept under a blanket of silence, but for Asma, sleep would not last. A man crept into her home, stepping past the innocence of her children, who lay curled beside her. The only sound was his breath and the pounding of his heart as he raised the weapon. In the darkness, the strike was swift. The blade cut through not just flesh, but freedom itself. Asma's voice, strong, fearless, defiant, was silenced forever. Her children stirred, but it was too late. Their mother's blood was already spilled upon the floor. When the killer slipped back into the night, Medina awoke to a silence more terrifying than any scream. A woman was gone, not because she fought with steel, but because she fought with words, and her killers believed they had won. By dawn, the news had spread. A mother had been murdered in her sleep. Some whispered in fear, others in anger, but most fell silent, as if silence itself could shield them from the same fate. Her verses, once spoken openly in the streets, were now recalled only in hushed voices. 5 children awoke to a world forever changed, where once they had the warmth of a mother's embrace, now they had only the coldness of loss. Her blood was a reminder that even innocence was not safe, that in this new world, words could condemn a family to grief. No trial was held. No court demanded accountability in the eyes of those who carried out the deed. Justice had already been served. But was it justice? Or was it fear disguised as righteousness? A murder carried out not in battle, but in the sacred quiet of a home. And yet, silencing her did not erase her words. If anything, her death carved them deeper into history. Asma's story became more than poetry. It became a testament, a warning of what happens when power fears truth, and when a single voice dares to speak against the tide. At its core, this was not the story of politics or power. It was the story of a woman, a mother, who chose words over silence and paid with her life. Her children lost more than a parent. They lost their protector, their guide, their future, and no belief, no cause, no pride can ever justify that. History remembers Asma bint Marwan not as a warrior, but as a poet, not as a soldier, but as a mother. Her murder stands as a chilling reminder that silencing a voice does not erase its truth. It only amplifies its echo across time. In every age, in every land, voices rise to challenge oppression. And when those voices are cut down, we are left with one undeniable truth. No one, no matter their words, deserves death for speaking.